Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Otanka. How are you doing this fine day?
I'm good this morning, Bill.
What do you think of this Paradise Resort that we're at today in V-Time?
It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it?
It's fantastic.
I can't believe how beautiful it is. Have you noticed, Bill, by any chance, they've changed the seating in here?
Yeah, they have a little bit.
It did. It used to be recliners, I believe, and now we've got these beautiful chairs.
What would you like to talk about today?
Yeah, I thought we'd have a bit of a mishmash this week, Bill, where we basically talk about how hard it is to do what we're doing. And I believe that you've got some stuff that's come up that I have no knowledge of. So let's see what we can start with. Do you want to start off this week, Bill, about how difficult this is, or would you like me?
You go ahead.
Well, from my point of view, Bill, as you know, that we're doing this as a concept piece of work. It's not been an easy project because we have to have at least 3 recordings of a video, 2 recordings of audio. We have to try and match them all up into sync so that the hands and the mouth move at the same time. And that's without the video editing completely. It's been let's put it like this, it's been an experience learning how to do it all together.
That's for sure. We've had a lot of trial and error on this, but we're getting close. We're getting close to where it should be.
We are. And of course, the fact that you can't record audio while you're actually in this environment makes it even harder because the audio has to be 2 separate files. The levels have to be equal both ends. So the amount of work that goes in just producing a 10-minute video is quite labour intensive. But I do believe, Bill, aren't we the only ones that do this at the moment? I think we're the only ones who've ever done it.
I think you're correct. I've never seen anybody else do a talk show in VR, especially in this type of an environment where we change environments every week. So it's been quite a challenge.
It has been it's been a good challenge though, Bill. It's been a good learning curve and a great experience. I mean, I suppose there'll be people out there at the moment who'll say, well, you know, other people have hosted venues in VR, but what we're doing is on a weekly basis, and we're doing it as a chat show, and we're not a big production company. There's the only 2 of us doing it, so we are, as from that aspect, we are the only ones now.
Yeah, and the fact that I'm in California and you're in England, and I'm running on a satellite with a 750 millisecond delay time versus your landline being on fiber optic network, so you have a very low ping. So that's why we sometimes talk over each other, because of the delay of the transmission.
That is very true. Yeah, that delay does cause problems. And as you say, you've also got the time restraints because I believe there's 8 hours difference between you and I, where you are in the world and where I am. And of course, where you are is the middle afternoon for me. Where you are, it's early in the morning. So when I want to go on, V-Time gets quite busy. And when you want to go on, V-Time is busy. So trying to find a slot that we can fit in where we're not getting people coming in trying to join our group or whatever is a very difficult thing to sort of work out, isn't it?
It certainly is. You know, on another note, you and I recently both built high-end PCs to accommodate virtual reality headsets, and you're probably not aware that you and I bought the latest NVIDIA video cards, graphics cards, and they just came out with a better one that's twice as fast.
No.
Yes. It's called a GTX 1080, and it's faster than 2 of the 980s Tide and Sly mode. It's twice as fast.
Oh my God.
And the price, get this, the price is $600 for the card.
No.
And they're going to have and it's 8 gigabytes of RAM on the card.
Oh, because my graphics card is a 980, and I believe I paid roughly about 600 English pounds for it, which I believe equates to about $900.
Yeah, well, the new
$900.
the new 1080, which will be out on the 29th of May, so it's just a couple weeks and it'll be out, is coming out for $600, and you can get I think they call it an Innovator Edition. It's a little special one that's got a little better cooler on it, and that's going to be $700. But then they're also going to have one like like they did with the 980 and 970. They're going to have a lesser model. It's still the same computing power with just less RAM for $399. It's still twice as fast. Still twice as fast.
And twice as cheap.
Yep. So that's something for people to look forward to.
I sort of feel a bit chiseled now, Bill. I feel a bit swindled.
You know how this technology is. Buy it today, 2 weeks from now it's cheaper, or it's better, or it's totally changed. So when you're ready, you just jump in with both feet and close your eyes and don't look at the ads after that, because that's the way it goes. It's been like that for years.
Well, the trouble is, I'd heard this before, Bill. You buy it and it's out of date, and I've always thought, well, that's a little bit over exaggeration. In this case, there's no exaggeration, is there? It clearly is the facts.
Right. I think that.
Do we know if there's any?
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, do we know if there's any information out there on the internet, Bill, like pictures of the new card or anything like that?
Yeah, I think if you go to the NVIDIA site, they have pictures of the card. It doesn't look any different. It looks exactly the same, only it's a different model, and it's twice as fast.
Bill, that's going to cost me another $1,000 or whatever it's going to be for another graphics card now. That's just crazy.
You don't need it, neither do I. We can get by with what we got for a while.
I think I'm going to have to at that price. I mean, it's so cheap, but once I've spent this money on this one, it's just not viable. But that's just crazy, absolutely crazy. I should have been more patient, perhaps.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I'm the same way, and I think most of us that want to stay ahead of the technology are right up in the forefront. We tend to make our leaps and then turn around and do it again 6 months later. So it's the way it goes.
I almost feel, Bill, like the bloke who's taken a bungee jump and got halfway down and realised he hasn't tied the rope.
Yeah, well, it's like I said last week, when you get to the end of your rope, tie a knot. Hang on.
I should have done it, Bill. See, there's living proof of your words of wisdom. I should have listened last week.
So, do you have anything else for us?
Not really, Bill. It's all been very quiet. It's been very quiet on my front at the moment, apart from a few bits and pieces I've been working on. Technology-wise, I've got to be honest, Bill, this week I've not been looking. So what you've told me a minute ago was a complete shock to the system. I'm probably now going to drown my sorrows this afternoon. But no, not a great deal, to be honest with you, Bill. Hopefully, as you know, I did want to quickly sort of catch you up on a few things while I'm here, Bill. As you know, with the editing, we're changing the way that we're doing the editing from now on. There'll be a little bit extra changed each week, and we're going to be trying to modify this chat show slightly to improve it and make it better, along with the video and the audio. So what I'm suggesting to the viewers, they keep coming every week and keep looking and see the changes that we're making. My other suggestion also, Bill, is to them, is that they like and subscribe and also leave comments, because if they leave us comments, for example, and say, look, we want to talk about such a piece of technology, I'm sure you and I would be both more than obliging to be able to do that for them.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, any comments or suggestions are would be very welcome. You know, I've had some verbal comments from some friends of mine. They want to know if we're going to have guests in the future, and I said, yeah, that we'll probably be able to do something like that. They'll have to be virtual reality guests. I mean, they'll have to have a headset and a Gear VR headset. But yeah, we could do that. We could have guests.
Well, we actually built. We've actually got a guest coming up. Not today, obviously, but I think over the next couple of weeks we've got a guest show of technology on pole dancing. Now, to be honest with you, I think it's a bit of a joke, because I can't see how technology can come into pole dancing. However, I've been assured that there's a lot of technology that goes into designing the poles that people dance around or exercise on. So I'm looking forward to that gentleman, I think his name's Chaos, coming on and discussing it with us, because who would think something so simple as pole dancing would require a lot of engineering and a lot of technology?
Yeah, Chaos is a very interesting entrepreneur. He has his fingers in a lot of different projects, and the guy is really quite brilliant. And I look forward to having him on our show in the near future. You know, another thing before we go ahead.
No, go on, Bill. Go on.
Another thing before we close, we have a sponsor for our show this week. I don't know whether you knew that or not.
No, I did not. No. Who would they sponsor me?
Well, our sponsor this excuse me. Our sponsor this week is Wild Bill's Gringo Salsa, made with mild chili peppers grown in California fields. It keeps you regular without burning your butt.
Well, there you go, Bill. What can I say? Well, thank you to the sponsor for their help this week. I really appreciate that. And obviously, I'll make sure I keep toilet paper just in the fridge, just in case.
Okay. Well, I think it's time to say goodbye.
It is, Bill. Have we any words of wisdom, Bill, this week before we depart this coil?
Just look for the Gringo Salsa on your shelves at the local grocery stores anytime soon.
I'll keep a lookout, Bill. Anyway, it's been great talking to you, Bill.